Sugar is bad. Fat is good. So here I am on day 11 of my fucking intermittent fasting journey slash ketogenic diet. I've been fasting for over a year, mainly with junk food and shit. But I managed to hit a plateau. I was struggling with craving and hunger, and overall, some of my longer fasts, which became more and more necessary as time went on, my fasts had to get longer to compensate for the bullshit I was eating. The sugar, the fine refined carbs, the processed foods. All of that shit stunted my progress. I'm convinced of it now after what I've seen in the past 11 days in myself, what I've found through my fucking research online, and just a general common sense associated with the fucking science that's involved behind what happens when you put the fucking food in your mouth. Now, there is going to be another video coming soon after this that will go over that I will sit down and revise my fundamental fucking understanding of what happens when you put shit in your mouth. So anyway, just to update you, on day 11, I've maintained a steady, moderate ketosis the whole time. My starting weight at the beginning of this ketogenic diet, along with intermittent fasting, I've been doing 16-hour fasts with 8-hour eating windows this whole time at an 1,800 calorie max for the day. I've been tracking my calories, keeping food diaries, and all that shit. And I kind of went over that in a previous video, some of the things I'm eating. I will delve into some things again as time goes on to help figure out what foods can replace the ones I'm giving up and keep me satisfied and not craving and not fucking drug fucking, sitting there vibrating, oh fuck, if I don't get another fix, I'm gonna fucking die. All that bullshit that fucking happens when you are fucking addicted to sugar, as I've been. And you've seen throughout my channel, throughout my fucking struggle with weight loss, has been a one common theme, and that's me just had to have the fucking sugar all the fucking time. It's not all fucking roses being on this ketogenic diet. I will say that. It is a lot of work to try. And it's not that it's difficult to, the work comes into play when it comes to, you have to prepare your foods. Why? Because there's not a market for this. We have been fucking so jam-packed with low-fat, high-carb stuff, sugar in every goddamn food on the shelf, even shit that you think wouldn't have sugar in it, that it is very difficult, and you really got to do your homework to go out to the store or to a fast food place or a restaurant, and these are all minefields with which you can step on carbs. You have to really work hard just to figure out what you can buy, what you can't, what you can, do. And what it ends up being is you're going to have to prepare a lot of your own foods if you're going to do this. I mean, and that's, some people that doesn't work. Like, I know as a truck driver, I wouldn't be able to do some of the things I was doing today. I'd be having to fucking go into the goddamn McDonald's and have me double quarter pounded with cheeses with no bun every day. Drenched over the most sad, fucking pathetic, wilted leaf salad that they fucking had that day, and I'm pretty much sure by the time McDonald's puts that salad in front of you, it's probably lost some of its nutritional value, but the jury's still out on that. I'm not about to nitpick shit like that. Mainly I'm trying to, lose weight, feel better, and be happy, and I do believe a combination of reducing your carbohydrate intake along with intermittent fasting may very well be the key to controlling your weight for the rest of your life. But we'll get into that in a minute. So the reason I started to do this ketogenic shit was to, I wanted to fucking cure my cravings. I wanted to not feel hungry when I fast. That's pretty important because I want to fast. I'm always going to want to fast. I want to not feel hungry or cravings during it. So I want to be able to go 36 hours at least. 72 would be nice, but I realize that's pushing it. But I want to be able to do a 36-hour fast without hunger, without cravings, without walking around in the kitchen going, what the fuck? I want to eat, but I can't. I want to eat, but I can't. And I want to be able to accomplish that. And that's why I'm testing this out. And, if you do any ketogenic diet research, you know that there's up to 3 weeks, or sometimes longer, depending how fucked up you are, to adapt your body from all the damage that you've caused to it from eating the shit that I've eaten my whole life and that you've probably eaten your whole life, to changing what your body thinks it's going to do for fuel, which is, your body thinks you're going to eat sugar the rest of your life because you've been pounding sugar your whole life. So you really got to fucking, pound your body into this mode of where it says, okay, we're not getting sugar as much anymore. We need to make sure fat is available and we can use it. And that involves a bunch of hormones that switch over, some enzymes that are released and all kinds of shit that's way over my fucking truck driver head, it's not completely. When I watch the really scientific bullshit, in my research, where they're going over the molecular structure and, the biochemistry and going, with the little arrows with the little fucking symbols all over the fucking place that, I don't fall asleep. I actually absorb, I think, probably about 60% of that. And by the end of it, I get the point because, there's usually a little summary on what it means, if you get through all of that shit. And that's one of the reasons I'm sharing my fucking experiences with all of you is because, maybe I can help you, because a lot of people don't have the patience for that shit. They want to just go, what do you got to do? What do I got to do? Tell me what I got to do. Explain it to me in terms that are easier to follow, and shit like that. So that's one of the reasons I started to share my experience, because no one did this. No, I had to find this out on my own. No one shared this shit with me. When them science motherfuckers used to talk about this shit, I just ruled it out as they're trying to control my life. I just want sugar. But, overall, I've decided that that's not the way to go, as much. I still want the things, I still miss, but I don't crave. There's a difference. Would I enjoy a Pop-Tart right now? Absolutely. They taste great. They make you feel good. They're like a drug, Would I enjoy, swigging a couple of fucking things at Captain Morgan right now? Yeah, absolutely I fucking would. Do I do it all the time? I know, because I know that would fuck me up and ruin my health and ruin my life in some ways. So I don't do it as often. And I'm starting to, with my research and my experience and how I'm feeling on this new diet, I'm starting to realize that sugar should be treated the same as alcohol, the same as fucking, nicotine, the same as heroin, the same as cocaine. You need to really cut back if you want to get your health under control in addition to your weight. So, as for how I felt energy-wise, as I've felt for energy, as my energy levels are, I'm still struggling with the, burst energy, when it comes to having to get up and move very quickly or to sprint, that kind of shit. Granted, I haven't been doing much in the way of cardio or anything like that during this. I find when it comes to needing that kind of energy, I'm a little low. My endurance energy, I don't seem to run out, hit a wall of I'm tired, I want to fucking go to sleep, generally until the end of my day, and that's on a 16 and 8 hour fasting schedule. As you know, intermittent fasting in the past has given you this big burst of energy and alertness, And only at the tail end of a 72-hour water fast did I experience lethargy, tiredness, hitting a wall. So that leads me to believe that when your glycogen's completely 100% depleted, that you're not going to be, you're going to feel a little run down for a while unless you're adapted, which is the whole purpose I'm doing this. So that's why I'm doing it. Cravings, none. I literally have not craved anything, and I've been in some fucked up situations. I've been at a fucking party, with little bowls of fucking Snickers on every fucking table. I've been, there's surrounded with pasta and, alcohol and, pretty much the worst fucking environment for someone trying to diet I was in. I was like, what the fuck? What do I do? So, I went there and I just, I picked at some vegetables. I ate meat, of course, and cheese. There's plenty of cheese. Most of those parties, if you notice, you go to, they got the little fucking plates of vegetables with little ranch dipping sauce, which is okay in a ketogenic diet. They got, cheese. They had some onion dip there that was, very interesting. I looked it up. It wasn't, carb heavy, assuming that they didn't add sugar to it behind my back, but didn't kick me out of ketosis, so I assumed that was fucking appropriate. And, I survived it. I went through the party. I didn't eat anything I wasn't supposed to as far as sugar goes. I definitely drank a lot of coffee with artificial sweetener. I believe the one they had on hand was Splenda, which is sucralose, and I used that. And sucralose, I'm still doing a little research on to figure out, but I've consumed a lot of sucralose products during this so far, and I haven't been kicked out of ketosis. My weight loss has been steady. As you can see, from 205.1 down to 200.4, 4.7 pounds lost in 11 days, which is a nice, respectable, well-rounded number for the calorie deficit I'm running in. So, my verdict on artificial sweeteners, I used to think that they would make you more hungry, and I no longer believe that. I believe sugar makes you more hungry. So if there is lots of carbs in your diet and you're trying to lose weight, you're in a deficit, you're exercising, you're in the gym pounding the fuck out of yourself for 20 hours a fucking day, and you're still, not losing weight at a good rate, it's because, and you're feeling starving, you're feeling famished. It's a combination of the sugar and carbs that you're putting in. It only takes a little bit to give you that. If you go over your blood sugar's level of glucose, you spike yourself. Just takes one spike, and you'll go through the cycle. You'll feel good for, a couple hours, sometimes less, and then you'll dip, your blood sugar will drop. And when it drops is when your brain goes, I'm hungry, let's eat more carbs. So you got to keep that in mind. And as far as artificial sweeteners, do your homework. There are a bunch of different ones out there. Go out and say which artificial sweeteners are okay for a ketogenic diet, and you'll get a couple articles, and they'll go through the pros and cons of each one. And some of them have some fine print. The ones I've chosen don't spike your insulin, and this is erythritol mixed with stevia, or one or the other on its own, but they tend to have aftertastes on their own. But it doesn't affect your insulin response. Sucralose, I don't believe, does either. I haven't found an article proving that yet because it's so new. But, as for my personal experience, it didn't fuck me up. So basically, doesn't cause an insulin response, preferably passes through the body as it metabolized. And most artificial sweeteners do. Erythritol, I believe, does feed some of the bacteria in your gut, which can cause gas. So you probably are going to fart a little more than usual. So I've learned that. My conclusion on artificial sweeteners is use them. Because one thing you're not going to get on a ketogenic diet, aside for some fruit, And by fruit, I mean berries, and you're really limited in your fruit choices too, is sweet, and we are hardwired to like sweet things because in our minds, sweet equals lots of calories. So our bodies are like, look, we need to find more, shit to put in. Where's the best source? So you go for the sweets. Even though fat is really very calorie dense, for some reason, our quick energy, the fact that we have a glycogen store in that extra fuel tank, sends us out to find fucking sweet stuff. And if you don't give yourself that sensation of sweetness, I do believe you'll eventually fail on a ketogenic diet. So start to learn to make treats, whip things together. And I'm going to post shit that I try to do on here throughout this and do the best you can. As for my plans for the immediate future, I plan on changing my fasting protocol to right now I'm in the middle of a 36-hour fast. I'm approximately 23 and a half hours fasted, have not experienced any hunger or cravings this entire time. I want to know if I'm going to get through a 36. It'll actually be more than 36. It'll be closer to 40 because it'd be 5 in the morning and I ain't getting up to fucking eat. So I'm testing out a 36-hour fast just to see what happens. Then the next protocol I might follow for a while is an alternate day diet style protocol where every other day I limit my calories to 600. Which I'm also finding, with this is the calories of my diet are lower. When I have a full meal, and I mean I feel fucking full, it adds up to maybe 600 or 700 calories. It's really hard to overeat on this diet. I would contend that somebody on a ketogenic diet that at least tracks the grams of carbs that they put in doesn't have to count calories otherwise. Keep an eye on your carbs, but your calories are going to work themselves out unless you force feed yourself. I've heard rumors of people on 5,000 calorie diets that didn't gain much weight at all or even, lost a little bit of weight when they were reducing the carbs. But we'll get into that in my next, what I've learned about fat loss video since I started this over a year ago. So, above all, remember, I'm not a fucking expert. I'm just a fucking asshole. Have a nice fucking day.